Have you ever found yourself awake in the early morning, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep has abandoned you? The house is quiet, the world motionless, yet your eyes are open clear, alert, and restless. Many experience this as they grow older, often dismissing it as an inevitable part of aging. But this persistent early waking carries deeper implications for both physical and mental well-being. What if, by understanding it, we could transform those sleepless hours into a time that restores rather than drains us? In health science, few things are as underestimated as our sleep patterns. While people monitor blood pressure and diet, sleep remains an overlooked indicator of the body's internal balance. As we age, sleep evolves. The deep rest of youth becomes fragmented, lighter, and more sensitive to disturbances. Many older adults wake between 3 and 5 in the morning, their bodies alert though their minds still yearn for rest. This common phenomenon deserves attention, as our response can either support or undermine our long-term health. These early awakenings are not signs of disease, but natural adjustments that occur as part of aging. The architecture of sleep changes. When young, deep sleep or slow-wave sleep dominates, engaging the body in intense restoration. This phase, crucial for cell regeneration and immune strength, declines significantly by our 60s. Instead, our nights fill with lighter sleep stages, where even faint sounds or thoughts can nudge us awake. The need for rest remains, but the mechanism delivering it becomes more fragile. Melatonin, the body's natural sleep hormone, regulates sleep and wakefulness. In younger years, its production peaks at night, gradually tapering off toward morning. As decades pass, the gland's output slows, and the signal anchoring deep sleep becomes faint, leading to shorter, lighter rest. The body still wishes to sleep, but lacks the same chemical reinforcement to maintain it. The body's circadian rhythm, our biological clock, also undergoes a subtle shift. This clock controls temperature and hormone secretion. In younger individuals, morning wakefulness cues typically occur around 6 or 7 a.m. In older adults, this warming process can begin much earlier, sometimes as soon as 4 a.m., leading to premature awakening. This advanced rhythm pulls wakefulness into pre-dawn hours. Recognizing this as a biological adjustment, not a failing, is essential. How we respond to these natural changes determines if they remain benign or evolve into chronic sleep disturbances. Many individuals, upon waking early, fall into habits that reinforce the problem. 3 habits are especially harmful. The first mistake is checking the time immediately after waking. It seems harmless, but has powerful consequences. The instant we look at the time, our mind begins to calculate, worry, and judge. Thoughts like, "It's only 3:45 a.m." trigger stress responses, elevating cortisol, the body's main alertness hormone. By looking at the clock too soon, we prompt cortisol's premature release, telling the body to wake up fully. This results in mental alertness and racing thoughts, losing any chance to drift back to sleep. Remove visible clocks from the bedroom. Charge phones outside the room and hide all-time cues. Eliminating the trigger removes urgency. If you wake and don't know the hour, you're more likely to relax, assume it's still night, and fall back to rest naturally. Even if you don't sleep, lying quietly with closed eyes and steady breathing allows deep rest, similar to light sleep. The second mistake is trying to force sleep. Anxious about being tired, many tense muscles and mentally command themselves to sleep. Sleep is an act of surrender, not will. The more one tries to control it, the more elusive it becomes. This reaction activates emotional centers, amplifying worries into insurmountable problems. A momentary awakening becomes an hour of rumination. A more effective approach is stimulus control from behavioral sleep therapy. If awake for over 20 minutes and not drowsy, leave the bed. Go to a dimly lit, quiet, comfortable room. Engage in a calm, low-stimulation activity like gentle stretching, reading, or sitting with slow breathing. The purpose is to break the mental link between the bed and struggle. The brain relearns the bed is for rest. Once sleepy, return to bed without checking the time. This restores the association between bed and restfulness. The third mistake is drinking large amounts of water. Many older adults soothe a dry mouth with a full glass, believing it promotes hydration. While hydration is important, doing so at night can backfire as aging kidneys process fluids less efficiently. Drinking a large volume of water at 3 or 4 a.m. forces kidneys to work, filling the bladder and prompting repeated bathroom trips. Each time you rise, your core temperature and alertness heighten, making it harder to return to sleep. A better approach is a small sip to moisten the mouth and to hydrate earlier in the evening, an hour before bed. Understanding what not to do is half the equation. The other half is learning to turn early hours into calm restoration. If we shift our perspective, the time between 3 and 5 a.m. can become a golden hour, a quiet, restorative space. One simple method combines a small sip of warm water with gentle hand and foot massage. Warm water slightly raises core body temperature, prompting a natural cooling response that promotes melatonin release. Massaging hands and feet activates nerve endings, communicating with the parasympathetic nervous system for relaxation. Rubbing palms, pressing fingers, or rotating feet increases circulation and quiets the mind, often bringing drowsiness in minutes. Another technique is cognitive offloading. Keep a small notebook and pen near your bedside. When worries arise, write them down briefly, transferring them out of your head. Then, write a few lines of gratitude for pleasant moments from the previous day. This combination shifts mental focus from anxiety to reassurance, helping the brain transition out of its emotional loop. Studies show older adults practicing gratitude journaling before bed improves sleep quality and emotional stability. For restless moments, grounding exercises like the 5-4-3-2-1 technique are effective. Notice 5 things you see, 4 you feel, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. Directing attention outward calms the inner dialogue, shifting the nervous system from high alert to calm observation, allowing sleep to return. Waking early is not an enemy, but a messenger. It signals the body's evolving rhythm and need for gentler care. The human body, even in later years, is adaptable. With patience and understanding, it responds quickly to new habits of rest. Early waking can become an entry point into mindfulness and peace. The quiet before dawn is a time when the world doesn't demand attention. It's a space for inward listening, where breath slows and awareness becomes healing. The first step is acceptance, not resistance. When you wake, take a deep breath and tell yourself, "My body is adjusting." This is not a problem, it is simply time. Avoid judgment and urgency. Whether you fall back asleep or rest quietly, both serve your health. The goal is peaceful restfulness, not perfect sleep. Every stage of life carries wisdom. Youth sleeplessness comes from ambition, while age's early waking comes from sensitivity and awareness. Navigating this shift gracefully honors the body's natural intelligence. We stop fighting its rhythms and begin partnering with them. Those dark hours before dawn are not wasted. They are an invitation to return to ourselves, to breathe, be still, and prepare gently for the day. The next time you open your eyes in the early morning darkness, do not despair. Remember, this is your body's language of change. Treat it not as a curse, but as an opportunity to practice calm, reconnect with your senses, and nurture inner peace. Early waking transforms from frustration into a practice of mindfulness, resilience, and quiet strength, a testament to a life fully awake. Please like and subscribe our channel.